Hello and welcome back. I'm Jay Nova, and I'm going to review Conan, the Scarlet Citadel. This is a sequel, kind of a sequel, but a continuation of the current arc of Conan, his reign as king of Aquilonia. Always have a problem saying that. It's just some like fucking things that Robert Howard came up with names and stuff is just borderline impronounceable, kind of like Cthulhu or stuff like that. Yogg Sagoth, or things that his friend H.P. Lovecraft did. Here it is very much. It is a continuation of the idea of descent and conquering and things that happened in the previous, and it's a continuation of that in the sense that there's two other countries about to war, and it's a trap, and they capture Conan, who sent out an army of 5,000, and he gets kidnapped, and they throw him in a dungeon, and through that, Conan has to figure out and guile his way through this dungeon with a giant fucking snake. And this really kind of showed of Robert E. Howard's phobia towards snakes, like the treacherous serpent, the idea that snakes or reptiles and stuff like that have this inherent and uneasiness and, let's say, evil toward them, or for them, or stuff like that. And this is supposed to be an 80-foot snake, and stuff like that just freaks me out, because I gotta be honest here. When I saw Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. The Basilisk. I saw that in theater in 2002. I was 10. And that scares the shit out of me, because not so much that it's a snake, it's so much that it's a water-based monster, because sea serpents and monsters like that, ever since I saw Jaws when I was a little kid, even younger, has just put in this great phobia of fear in me of sea monsters and stuff. That's probably why I get more of a kick and twist out of H.P. Lovecraft's work, because it's always that seafood type monster, that mollusk of something, of the sliminess of just of the unknown. But I'll get H.P. Lovecraft to the other thing. I'm just saying that just certain water-based things, because we're out of our element, and it's just something like that. It's so unexplored, the water and the deeps and the secrets and the descents and the depths of the abyss and so on and so forth of that. It just just fucking gets me to my core of just. Fuck that, I'm staying on the boat with a shotgun, and if a shark or anything comes up, I'm blowing its fucking brains out. Because the other funny thing is, my dad, he's a fisherman. And I've only been on his boat once. I'm like, no, Dad, fuck off, I'm not going on your boat. So I think that's kind of a funny coincidence. Not irony, but a coincidence. Where was I going? Oh, Conan! Scarlet Citadel. This involves another kind of Rome and Game of Thrones politics toward that people want the kingdom of Aquilonia and its riches and stuff like that, divide and conquer mentality of countries, because it's still in that barbaric age. In the book here, it has in more of magic and stuff like that, and beasts, and sword and sorcery. As I explained in my last video, I hope you watched it, the differences between high fantasy and sword and sorcery. In here it showed more of the more mysticism of, say, plants, and suspended animation, and forms of necromancy and different other magics, and summoning giant beasts, where Conan flies atop and takes his kingdom back. And this was the very first one where it introduced Conan's taste in women, which he's a king, but he does not have a queen, and he has his own personal little whorehouse, or bordello, or any other euphemism for a lady of the night establishment, which I think that pissed off Conan. It's like, no! He came on swooping down on a giant bat or a beast-like thing that a friend wizard, an enemy of the person that imprisoned him, he flew down and took his place back, and it's just very much your warrior of the future, hunter from the future. I was talking to Duke Loops about that, Duke, and just like he came up with that joke of your, or was it me, or just that whole thing, whole idea. Another descriptions that the combat wasn't, the fight scenes weren't as descriptive as the last one, but it really did kind of cool kind of scenes of manliness, where like saying something. Conan is a very smart, cunning man in here, very sharp tongue. He knows his way around politics and just and the treachery of lords and maidens and stuff like that, and he has a very sharp tongue and wit. And also he mixes that in with just animalistic rage at some points, and where, as he was locked in the dungeon, Conan unleashed an inhuman howl toward his enemies. I just love stuff like that. It just, adds in that primal yet other things, that he is such a jack of all trades. You can kind of call him a Mary Sue, but it's just that Conan is really Robert E. Howard's avatar, that he projected himself into that character, or who he wanted to be. And you can H.P. Lovecraft also did that with the story of the Outsider, where who he thought he was, kind of a self cop out of documentation of his own personal thoughts of his own person. But you can see that in here. Where's it? Oh yeah. Just blah 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 blah. Really getting into this, I'm happy. Usually when I do a video, when I'm half-heartedly doing, I don't feel it. But when I get this kind of, this train of thought, it's very cathartic, and I really do enjoy it. Now, I enjoy doing these videos for you people, because it's kind of like a live journal or something like that, where I tell you my thoughts and feelings of this, and I want to hear your thoughts and feelings. If you subscribe, I'm happy, and I can tell you, please subscribe, 5-star, whatever people used to say back then. But, what'd you think of this? I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a great romp. It added more into the fantasy, and it ended in a weird way, which it's just something that flew over Conan's head that really kind of drove him to drink, because the really queer situation of what transpired, of saying decapitation and body still moving, by Crumb, I need a flask of wine. And by that, tell me what you thought of the short story, or if you read Conan, or if you only seen the films. Yeah. May the forces of darkness become confused on the way to your house, and goodbye.